This was our second Student Leadership Summit, and what that does, that brings together all of our equity teams and all of our student leadership teams from each one of our high schools. So each one of our high schools has their own separate student senate, which includes affinity groups like our Black Student Union, or our Latinx Student Union, or GSAs, or student government, and they come together every month to meet with the principal. The Student Leadership Summit, like today, allowed all of those groups to come together to talk across districts. So that helped us break down that barrier between high schools, but it also allowed our school board and our senior staff to hear firsthand from our students the issues they're facing, the problems that they see in our school division, and also some solutions to those problems as well.
It's really nice. We shared ideas about proposals of how we could improve our schools and communities, and it was really nice talking to and connecting with other people from other schools.
I think it's very important to see varieties of opinions, like I said beforehand, and it's great to see other like students that are trying their hard to like represent other people, and basically I think as of our club, we're very proud to be here and come here and talk for those who can't talk. And just representing others, it's very important.
Like at our school, it's easy to like only talk to people like you identify with, but definitely getting together with like other groups like broadens your world and helps you like make new friends and just build new connections you wouldn't otherwise.
And I think it's really important to kind of come together and make sure that we know all of our priorities so that we can help boost each other up and not just like, you know, do our own thing, try to accomplish our own goals separately. I think it's really important to try accomplish our own goals together because we can all help each other be more productive and get things done.
The day was broken up into two major sessions. The first session was organized by theme. So we had 3 or 4 different themes: family engagement, racial and equity bias, belonging in the schools. So there were broader themes, and that allowed any of the students participating to break off from their affinity groups and even from their schools to mingle around a common topic or a common thread. And there they were allowed, or they were able to discuss with each other what they were seeing. Let's say the topic was family engagement. So they were able to talk across groups and how family engagement impacts different student groups, but also different schools as well.
I started out going to a student coalition session where we talked about the Student Voice Project, where we can get $10,000 to do a project that will like improve the school or like help with diversity and inclusion. So pretty much for HS like specifically, our school is majority minority, so definitely like representing all the different groups is like very important to me because it'll help students like feel more welcome and included in the community.
So in my group, we were like talking about how to gain culture awareness, and yeah, we could like hear everybody's like from other groups, like what are their tips, what are their advice, what they did, like it can be successful for our school and for our group. So yeah, we share like some ideas too.
More minds together, more ideas. You know, you can't go wrong with that. More opinions, and it's also just a great way to learn about other people's cultures and be more open-minded. And it's just plain cool sometimes,
And then our second session was broken up by affinity groups. So our Black student unions all came together, Latinx student unions, etc. They sat and they met and they talked about the issues that were important to those specific student groups. And at the end of the session today, they were able to present, and that presentation could have come from the first session or the second session, or just a project students have been working on this year to present to the school board and senior staff to share their ideas and the projects that they were working on this year and possibly into next year as well.
We have an opportunity today to really listen to what students have to tell us, and that's just a wonderful opportunity for us to hear those things. People from central office, we've had school board members here to just really listen and take in what our students need to tell us.
We have the, you name it, affinity groups, the Muslims, the Asians, the Black students, whatever. We have them in our individual schools, but having this meeting here where we can get everybody is critical because it fosters that intergroup communication that we wouldn't have otherwise, and we just cover a lot more ground that way. And also, we have the added benefit of having school officials, principals here, that are willing to take notes and listen to us, which is a little bit more difficult in your day-to-day operations, but in here, we can really get to the nitty-gritty and get things done.
I think this today would be really impactful for the future of our schools because we're deciding on how to improve our communities and like how we're finally getting a voice in our school system. So that's really nice.
At WAS, we had our Better Together event, which was something kind of like this, where we had a collaboration of all of our affinity groups at Western Albemarle, and we had, you know, an event that kind of was able to showcase all of our different cultures and the things that made us unique and excellent. The Better Together Night event was kind of, it was floated around at our last Student Senate meeting in November, but it wasn't brought to fruition with everybody, but we were able to accomplish that at WAS. So yeah, I think that our experience with that can definitely help us, but that's what we're here today to work on.
After our first Student Senate, where the kids were working with students from other schools and then also just having that chance to be together across their affinity groups, they decided that we were going to have a cultural night at Western, and so we had a Better Together evening. Students had food, we had live arts performances, we had games, and each of the clubs got to share their work and what they were doing, and we had a really good turnout, not just for those who were in the groups and getting to spend time together, but also students from sports teams and our leadership program and just staff that stayed after school and families who came and joined us, and it was a great celebration and a great first step. It was a wonderful experience. It's the beginning of the hard work, but it was a great way to celebrate the efforts that these kids really want to spearhead.
There's just no limit to what this group can accomplish, and I know that we have some work to do. I heard a lot of fantastic things today from students, and I can't wait to go back and begin to employ some of them.